Welcome back to the Hoodneys Fantasy Football Podcast. This is the Week 17 starts and sits. I got my dog with me here, MFB.
Fa. Finals week, baby.
Yep, and I'm your host, Keem. Look, guys, starts and sits have been a little off, a little rocky last few weeks. So we will give you our starts and sits. Do your own research. Join the Discord. Ask us, who should I start? We say to start or sit these players. There may be better options to start, or you may just not have better options in terms of like the sits. So it's like you just got to roll with these guys, So these are all have to be taken in the context of your team. If you're leaning one way, away from one of these guys or toward one of these guys, then we may steer you in the right direction. But let's go ahead and get started. I'll start us off with the QB start of the week. This one, good luck if you're starting him, but you might have to. It's Bryce Young. They're playing against Tampa. Tampa's a good matchup for QBs. Last time he played Tampa, he had almost 300 yards. He's only had 3 turnovers in his last 5 games. He's been doing pretty solid. So I think he keeps it up. He's playing to prove himself, and he's been proving himself, and he will continue to do so.
Yeah, I definitely like this pick. We're down to finals week 17 of the NFL. So looking into a lot of playoff scenarios, pretty much for NFL seeding. Bryce Young, been trending up. They got a divisional matchup against the Buccaneers, and they've been eliminated, but they're just looking to play spoiler. If I can't be there, you can't be there either. So a Buccaneers L would be devastating for their chances. As the Falcons are first right now in that division.
Yeah. All right, MLB, give us your QB start of the week.
My start of the week is Bo Nix against the Bengals.
Okay.
I think Bo Nix has been a little quiet. He had some very good stud weeks. We were shouting him out on a bunch of waiver wire episodes. Broncos are in a super tight race with the Chargers to try to get a wild card spot in the AFC West. And they got a chance to do it. So I think Sean Payton's going to game plan heavy, go out there against the Bengals. Bengals has been a defense that they let something slide through every game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think they'll be able to capitalize and be playing for real out there.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, yeah, Bo Nix, Bengals, their defense has been kind of not so hot. So hopefully that Bo Nix can go out there and sort of expose them. He likely will have to do a lot of the running since the run game there is kind of up in the air. They got like a 3-headed backfield there, or it's just a shared backfield. So, yeah, I like it. I think it's a good pick. BBTB's not with us, but he put in his starts and sits of the week. I'll go over his. For his QB start of the week, he's got Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sure. I mean, aren't they already like they clinched the first seed, like 100% guaranteed, or do they have to win this week to confirm it?
Ooh, not. Can you remind me? Did the Chiefs beat the Bills or the Bills beat them?
They lost to Buffalo.
They lost to Buffalo. Okay, so because the Chiefs could tie the Bills,
and then the Bills would win by.
Yes.
Okay, so they do have to win this game.
2 weeks left, technically. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they will be competitive. All right. Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh's been a tough defense. They have not been a good matchup for QBs. I tried to say sit Patrick Mahomes last week. He did his thing against Houston. They are playing on Christmas Day. So maybe another, prime time game. First game of the week, actually. They open up with the Chiefs. So I don't know. I would be trying not to start Mahomes if I have other options. Maybe a team that's got a QB that's really trying, like the Bucks, Baker Mayfield or something. But I don't know. What do you think it would be?
I think it's not like the most obvious start of the week, but it's a cool start of the week for me.
Okay.
I think it's just not going to be like a 25 plus bomb I'm expecting from Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because they're going to rely a lot on the run game, right? So it's going to be like a very like even fantasy distribution amongst all the Chiefs players.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we might see that, but the games start 10 a.m. Wednesday, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to the wide receiver starts of the week. My wide receiver start of the week is Calvin Ridley. They're playing against Jacksonville. We've said it. Start your quarterback, start your players, your wide receivers against Jacksonville. Players get a lot of yards, they get touchdowns. So Calvin Ridley's, him and Mason Rudolph have been connecting kind of quite well. I think last game he did pretty solid. He wasn't in the studs list, but he had himself a decent game against the Colts. He had 3 receptions, 78 yards, and a touchdown on 5 targets. So last time he played against Jacksonville, he had 12 targets, 7 receptions, almost 60 yards. So hopefully he can get in the end zone. If you're in a PPR league, that's pretty solid as a flex, at least.
Yeah. I like this start. I'm pretty I'd be pretty okay with starting Calvin Ridley in the finals. We said very early on in the season Titans passing schedule gets a lot better. And hence we're seeing it, bro. We're seeing Mason Rudolph throw for a very decent completion rate. The only downside I've been seeing is Calvin Ridley's target share has dropped a lot. And a lot of it's going to Chig, right?
Yep.
So which we'll touch on Chig later, but that's kind of the only downside, but it could easily come back up and the passing volume over in Tennessee is there.
Okay. MFB, go ahead and give us your wide receiver start of the week.
My start of the week is a young dude been coming up heavy. That's Jackson Smith-Njigba on the Seahawks. They are playing against the Chicago Bears, who have been pretty lackluster as of late. And JSN is just pretty much proving to be like the focal point passing attack for the Seahawks. So I got him probably posting up a pretty good game this week.
Yeah.
Once again, Seahawks in a position. They're second in the NFC West. They're trying to work their way into a wild card spot.
Yeah, I like it. JSN has been really good lately. One of the better draft picks if you got him late in the draft this year. So he's been balling. I think he continues to do it, especially with, like you said, they're in a tight race. They need to win. So must win. They're going to be firing on all cylinders. JSN's been a big part of that offense. So I like it. I'm going to go ahead and give BBTB's wide receiver start of the week. It's Brian Thomas, who also has been killing it lately, honestly. Last game, over the last 4 games, he's had 10 plus targets. He had 10, 12, 14, 13, and 4 touchdowns in that stretch. Last time he played Tennessee, he had 12 targets, 8 receptions, 86 yards. If he gets in the end zone this week, you're really happy with his performance, and they're playing at home. So I like it. It's a good start. I would easily flex him if I had him.
This guy has been a dog. You probably bought him for cheap. You could have traded like pretty high for him, I guess, if you really liked him. Or you drafted him very late. So it's definitely a solid wide receiver 2 or flex spot to have with this talent right here.
Yep. That'll do it for the wide receiver starts. Let's move into RB starts of the week. I am going to take a very risky start of the week, and you may need to start him, but my RB start of the week is Alexander Mattison against the Saints.
That's a risky one, all right, boy.
I put a caveat here. If Carr is not playing for the Saints, you can start Mattison. If Carr plays, then, take one of these guys starts of the week. Mattison, the Raiders are playing for nothing. These guys are playing for roster spots, actually. All the players on the team besides, Brock Bowers. They're all going to be playing hard. Madison, he did a bulk of the work against Jacksonville last week. The Saints with no Carr are just not good and unable to get anything going on offense. So teams get ahead and they just run the ball on them. I think that teams have been able to run over the Saints. So if you need just a plug and play RB, if you don't have if you couldn't get Jerome Ford or you couldn't get one of these other guys off waivers, I would say just pick up Madison. If you have him, maybe you can slot him in. Should do enough.
I'm not like hating the take fully, but it's just so hard to trust.
It's
just seeing last week how they worked in a lot of Amir Abdullah.
Yep.
Right. Got 7 carries, got 5 receptions. Madison had 4 receptions. So it's even kind of hard to tell, like, yo, who's getting the passing work, who's getting the rushing work. Like, it's just kind of like, they're just kind of doing stuff out there.
No, for sure. But
it was kind of hard for me to get a read on.
100%. I think that if you have him, and look, this all comes out of it takes into consideration like your team. We have to know the context. If you have like Jerome Ford, the Browns are playing against the Dolphins. Dolphins defense is pretty solid, but I'd rather start like Jerome Ford if I had him. But if you're in a pinch, Madison could get you what you need, hopefully. If you're in the championship and you have Madison, you have to start him. Good luck. MFV, go ahead and give us your RB start of the week.
My RB start of the week is none other than Bucky Irving.
Okay.
Pretty much following the trend of start all your RBs against the Panthers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to see an RB against the Panthers that hasn't put up 100 yards. That's 10 points right there, my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and oh man, I don't even want to bring up Bucky's stat line against the Panthers last time they played him, because that's where Bucky's season really emerged. So, yeah, bro, Bucky Irving, you could even throw Rachaad White maybe if you really want, and he might get a good amount of points too.
Yeah, who knows?
But I'm very heavy on Bucky Irving. I'm very confident in any running back against the Panthers.
Yeah. No, we've talked about Panthers are not good at stopping the run. So I like it. It's pretty straightforward. And Bucky's been up and coming. He's been doing his thing week in, week out. So it's good start. For BBTB's RB start of the week, I'm going to say his RB start of the week. His RB start of the week is Rico Dowdle. Yeah, he put Doodle. Okay. I think he was in a hurry when he made his list. They're playing against Philadelphia. I don't think you run Rico Dowdle out there. He could get in the end zone and you'd be happy with that. Last time they played Philadelphia, he had 12 attempts, 53 yards. He had 3 receptions, 3 yards. Didn't do amazing. I would not be trying to start Rico Dowdle against Philly.
Yeah, I think his angle is that if you're in a negative game script, so Eagles are favored by 9, right? And I'm sure if Hurts plays, that line will change more in favor of the Eagles.
Right.
So in a negative game script like that, then it favors Rico because he's a pass catching back. So I think that gives him a safe floor of like a 10 to 12 point range, which I don't know. This is a whole different kind of discussion, but like in a finals matchup, I wouldn't play for floor.
Yeah.
Because there's only 3 outcomes, right? Your opponent goes stupid, and the only way you're going to beat him is to go for crazy upside, and outscore him, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to play to the worst case scenario, which is the upside type of thing.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I don't know, maybe you're looking at your opponent, you're like, hey, this team isn't that scary to me. I don't know how they got to finals. Then you could run something like Rico and probably be confident as long as you got some other good plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. It's not
the craziest start, but it's not the best one.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. It's not terrible, but it's also like, it's risky. Would you start Dowdle or Madison against what's it called? The Raiders are playing against
the Jags, right? No, they already played.
They're playing the Saints. They're playing the Saints.
Saints.
Yeah. In that shared split backfield. Tough one, huh?
It is very tough. I'd really have to think and do some deeper.
Ask us in the Discord if you guys have this situation.
Yeah.
Let's move on to tight end starts of the week. I'll start us off with Dalton Schultz. This, I tried this last time, where there's not enough players there. Targets need to go somewhere. But Tank Dell's out. He's not playing this game. And so targets got to go somewhere. I'm guessing they go to Schultz. That's the take here.
What about your boy that just joined the Texans, bro? That one homie,
What shall we?
Deontay Johnson, baby.
I don't think. I mean, they might try and work him into the end zone. But yeah, he had 8 targets last week against Kansas City. Kansas City's a better matchup for tight ends generally, like fantasy wise. But I think that in a game, they don't actually need to play for anything. I think at this point they locked up the division, right?
Yeah, they did lock up
So
the division, and they can't reach like the first seed at all, right?
yeah, so it's kind of yeah. I mean, I still think they go out there and play. But to move the ball, they're going to have to use Schultz since there's no other receivers really besides Nico Collins. So he's now become the second option on the team in terms of receiving. So I think if you're in a pinch, Schultz might be the one to do it for you.
Yeah, definitely. I like it.
MFB, go ahead and give us your tight end start of the week.
My tight end start of the week. We kind of mentioned a tiny bit about him earlier. It is Chig Okonkwo on the Titans.
Yep.
He's seen just a lot of increased targets and target share in the offense with Mason Rudolph.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the Jaguars. Both these teams just going out there and shooting the shit, having fun.
Yep.
Also a divisional matchup for no good reason. But hey, maybe I don't know, maybe one of them tries to tank for a better draft pick. They're both 3-12.
Yeah.
But anywho, I think Chig is coming up. I think he's definitely a good start. Definitely should be on your radar. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, I've liked Chig. We've talked about him. I think he's got the ability. Mason Rudolph seems to like him, to target him. He had 10 and 11 targets in the last 2 games. So it's a decent matchup for him. And I think he can, he's capable. So I like it. It's a good start. We got BBTB's tight end start of the week is Jonas Smith. This one's pretty straightforward. John has been a huge part of that offense. Tua likes him and targets him a lot. If you have Jonas Smith and you're in the finals, I would start Jonas Smith over these other 2 guys for sure. Tua's like really just been favoring him a lot. I think he can have himself a nice game this week.
Yeah, I think definitely a great start. I would monitor Jalen Waddle's status again. But even with Jalen Waddle in the game, Jonas Smith has cemented himself in the offense, bro.
Yeah.
So like minimum 15% target share, right? And probably even higher. It's probably like 20% realistically. So very trustworthy. And in the tight end landscape of things, he's like in the tight end 1 range, pretty much
Yeah.
solidified by now.
Yeah, he's been great over the last few weeks. Let's move on to bonus starts of the week. I'll start us off with my bonus start. It's Sutton. Sutton is playing against the Bengals. This goes along with MFB's start of the week with Bo Nix. Like you said, it should be a good game. They're trying to compete with that wild card with the Chargers. So, like you said, they're trying to get wins. Sean Payton should work something up. Sutton has had a couple of decent games the last few games. I think he was in the end zone 2 games ago. Last game he didn't get in the end zone, and before the bye he didn't get in the end zone, and then again the game before that he did. So he's kind of been on off, and so he should bounce back in the end zone this week.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, we've seen Cincinnati just put up crazy high scoring games because their offense is so good and their defense just, I don't know, just lets shit go.
Yep.
So, like even I was looking at, and I wanted to mention, yeah, the implied total is 49.5. So, which is pretty hefty. I think that's the second highest on the week.
Nice.
So I want to quiz Chemo here. What's the highest total of the week? What game is it?
What game is the highest total of the week? That would have to be.
If you step back and think about it, it's easy.
If I step back, Packers Vikings.
No, but I can see where you're going. What team is just scoring crazy every game?
Lions, Niners.
Yes,
There you go.
exactly.
Monday night.
Yep.
That was my initial guess, but I went through because like there's got to be a different one because the Niners have just not been scoring. So I was like,
But the Lions are.
yeah. So I was like, I don't. And the Niners, I think, are officially eliminated, right? So they have nothing to play for.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah. So I was like, nah, it can't be them. And then I saw Packers Vikings. I was like, yeah, it has to be them then. Yeah. No, it's still high implied point total for the Denver
Broncos and
Broncos against
Bengals.
the Bengals. Yeah. So
I
yeah.
could
But
definitely see it.
let's move on to MFB's bonus start of the week.
My bonus start of the week is someone who a lot of people are saying lost the game for their team last week in a crazy divisional match, and that is Devonta Smith of the Eagles. I forgot what down it was, but I think it might have been third down. But basically, hit
Yeah.
him right in the hands. It hit his just went through his hands, hit his helmet, dropped the ball, and he was pissed.
Yep.
And I'm sure the fans were insanely pissed. And Devonta Smith is a dog, and I think he's not going to let that happen again. So he is catching probably every ball that is getting to his hands next week, whether it be from Jalen Hurts or even Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Divisional game, Dallas has nothing to play for, but the Eagles do in trying to get that home field advantage for themselves that was taken away from their hands by Jaden Daniels.
Yep. Yeah, I like it. I'm a little bit scared though, because if Kenny Pickett plays, yes, Kenny Pickett can do his thing, but I'm just a lot more nervous with Kenny Pickett behind the wheel. Man, if you're dealing with Devonta Smith, start or sit, and it turns out that Jalen Hurts doesn't clear concussion protocol, likely he'll clear it. I just think that they're in a must-win situation. And I know Dallas is like, oh, they're not that good. They're not playing for anything. Their defense has been pretty good lately. So I think they'll eat Kenny Pickett alive, to be honest with you. That he's going to get sacked like crazy. They're going to it's in a divisional match where they completely dominated Dallas last time. They had no Micah Parsons that week, I think, if I remember correctly. Dallas got completely schooled. The what's it called? Eagles sat everyone at the end of the third quarter. No one played fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, they all sat, which is kind of like a big, like kind of disrespectful, just saying like, oh, you're not even worth our playing time. We're going to rest. So I think Dallas is playing to show them like, nah, you can't do that to us. And so I'm a little bit nervous. I think Kenny Pickett is going to have, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So if he plays, I would be nervous. But I think Jalen Hurts goes out there just because they know the situation. They're probably going to just speed him through the concussion protocol. Let's move on to BBTB's bonus start of the week, which is Aaron Jones. I'm guessing that because they're playing against the Packers in a divisional game, it's supposed to be a good matchup for him. I mean, we saw Green Bay last week shut down Kendry Miller for the Saints, but they also shut down that entire offense. Aaron Jones has been getting the work, man. 18 attempts last week, 18 attempts the week before, 5 targets last week, 3 targets the week before. He just needs to get in the end zone, and he didn't get in the end zone against Seattle. He definitely can do it this week. I mean, we've seen the Vikings; they're really trying to win. So I think that both teams actually are really trying to win. But for Green Bay, they don't have a guaranteed wild card spot.
They are. Well, no, they actually are. They
Okay.
did clinch a wild card. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did.
But still, it's a divisional game. It'll go back and forth.
Yeah. It's man, this is going to be a hard fought game. It has also a really good total, and it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
That's why I think because of that, I like this start, Aaron Jones.
Yep.
But man, like on paper, bro, like Green Bay, I mean, they shut out New Orleans, which just had
completely.
I don't even know who playing, but they shut down Seattle run game too.
Yeah.
Right. And you could say like, oh, there was no Kenneth Walker, but like, bro, like Zach Sharp is really good, and Zach Sharp's value only came from like some like lost possession, and then they got really good field position, right?
Yeah.
So like their defense is just still really good. They've been playing like nuts.
Yeah.
But I think seeing this total and seeing how close it is, Aaron Jones has to play a role and is guaranteed like 15-point floor.
Yep. Yeah. I like it. I mean, Aaron Jones should be good. We'll have to wait and see. Just hope that Cam Akers doesn't somehow shark a touchdown off him. That'd be really unfortunate, especially if you're in the finals. You need every point you can get. So hopefully it doesn't happen. But that'll do it for the starts of the week. Let's move on to our sits of the week. I'll start us off with the QB sit of the week. It's a very obvious one, or at least I felt it's been obvious this season. This is MFB's QB to fade this year, and it was CJ Stroud. They're playing Baltimore. It's a good matchup, but they don't need to play for anything. He's not playing for an MVP race or nothing. They're missing Tank Dell. They don't need to prove anything. I think that they likely will just do what they can, go out there, play just for the sake of the game. But I don't think he's going to try and go out there and do anything crazy. Even in his last matchup, they played, his last good matchup was against Jacksonville. He only had 14 fantasy points in that game, and Jacksonville's has been the best matchup for QBs. So, I think with a lot less weapons, it's a lot harder for him to get really good production. So, I would try to find someone else to start.
100% agreed. Just in a game where like Baltimore's still playing, they're like tied with they're tied with the Steelers, I believe. Yeah, they are tied with the Steelers in the AFC North.
Yeah.
Texans just playing to play. Just it gives them an edge. It gives Baltimore an edge. Let me ask you some questions on Stroud. 2025 draft. By the way, they're saying Tank Dell has a torn ACL, MCL, LCL.
Holy crap,
So
man.
they're saying he's not even playing the next season.
Golly, man.
Yeah, poor guy. Really,
dude,
wish him the
horrible
best.
to
He
hear,
was
man.
really fun to watch. Really great player too.
Yeah, man, that's cheese.
But 2025 draft, Chemo.
Okay.
You're on the clock. CJ Stroud or Baker Mayfield?
All right, man. I mean, look, they got Deontay Johnson. I'm just kidding. Look, bro, it really depends on how things go in the preseason, but just from what we've seen this year, Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield, bro. Like, you probably get him in the 6th, 7th round next year.
I'm
late.
surprised you thought that much about it, bro. But okay, anyway, okay, CJ Stroud or Sam Darnold?
It depends. It depends on if the Vikings are starting Sam Darnold.
Let's say they're starting Sam Darnold.
Man. Yeah, I'll take Sam Darnold, bro. Jay Jettis, man.
Okay.
That one
okay.
is.
We're getting deep. Okay, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young?
Hey, bro. I rolled the dice on Bryce. Yeah, bro. Stroud has just.
So Stroud is like below 15 the top 15 QBs for you,
bro. But what the thing with Stroud is like, he just hasn't had enough. Like, if he had like 3, or if he had like 6 or 7 like really good games, and you're like, oh, bro, like, he just has bad. He's had like 6 or 7 mediocre games. Like, he had an 18-point fantasy game against Colts week 1, 23.5 against Jacksonville. That's with all his weapons. 18 against New England week 6. And then his next performance, you have 16 plus points, is against Kansas City week 16. Like, any week before that, you could have picked up a lot of other QBs and started them and had a better fantasy day. So it has to do with the weapons a little bit. It became really tough for him, but in a very tough matchup, like they played Minnesota week 3, he got schooled, man. He had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
We'll see how they upgrade the O-line, since apparently that's an issue. Yeah. But my bad. Anyways, we're spending a long time on this, but I just thought it'd be cool to talk about.
Yeah. No worries. Go ahead and give us your QB sit of the week.
My QB sit of the week is Russell Wilson. He had a decent stretch of games. I think Steelers are just kind of getting into like the very tough part of their schedule, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Where like, they played the Eagles. I think that was like their first L in like a long stretch of W's. They played, who'd they lose to last week? I'm sorry.
Baltimore?
Baltimore,
Mhm.
right? And now they get the Chiefs, right? So all of these are like really good teams, really good defenses. So they're just getting tested, right?
Right.
And they have had gone without Pickens, and Pickens is supposed to be back.
He's healthy.
But I think like the Chiefs, like they know how to game plan, bro. Like the Chiefs literally said, like, "Hey, we're playing the Chargers. We're literally gonna play around Lad McConkey. Like we know Lad's their guy,
Yeah.
right? So they're gonna defend him. Now Lad didn't play that game, and obviously the Chiefs ended
Right.
up winning.
Yeah.
But they like what I'm saying is like they're gonna game plan around Pickens, and they're gonna watch these games without Pickens. They're gonna be like, damn, they got no pass catching off like
Yeah.
threats. So
Yeah.
like just guard Pickens.
Yeah.
McDuffie's clamping him, and it's not going to be a good day for Russ, to be honest. I see how the rushing upside can save his value somewhat, but I just don't have high hopes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't either. We've seen Kansas City defense. I mean, they've been, they've had some good games, had bad games. Yeah, it's a Christmas
Also, the
Day
Chiefs
game.
with one dub can secure home field advantage and first seed bye.
Yeah, this is like the game that this will close it out for them.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I like the sit. I'd be trying not to start Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson or Bryce Young?
Bryce Young.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Bryce Young.
Um,
Yeah, Bryce Young.
all right. Let's move on to BBTB's QB sit of the week. His QB sit of the week is Kyler Murray, who has been eliminated, and is playing against the Rams. Look,
So they're kind of in the Bryce Young situation because they're just playing spoiler to try to stop the Rams because the Rams
yep,
haven't clinched nothing,
yep,
right?
yep.
It's just Rams and Seahawks in that race. So they could
Mm-hmm.
try to ruin it for the Rams. I mean, I'm praying Kyler Murray does something, and it's all going to Marvin. Praying for that heavily.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Look, the last
but
time we
I
played the
would probably
Rams,
still sit him this week. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's
if
just
you
like,
made
how
it,
can you trust it?
yeah, if you made it to this, bro, to be honest with you, if you don't have a better option, I think they go out there and have fun, man. I think we saw the same thing with, and to be honest with you, Kyler Murray kind of is gonna be in a little bit of a hot seat. I mean, they're sticking with Kyler, whatever. He played the season, but bro, we talked about it a couple times when we talked about the duds, like we went over studs and duds, and like duds like McBride and the team, the Cardinals. Like, what do they do with Kyler Murray? Do they go out and draft a QB? You know what I mean? Like, do they go and get someone else? Like, do they think about that? Well, what else could they do? They have a great run game. They have a great
It's coaching.
tight end.
It's coaching. You have the weapons, bro. It's coaching.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
mean,
like a Chicago situation. They fired the
uh,
OC, then they
hundred
fired the
percent.
coach. They have the weapons, bro.
Yeah, 100%. But also, like Kyler Murray, like he's wants to prove that he can still get it done.
Yeah.
100% the play calling sucks. 100% sucks, bro.
It's bad.
Not a fan of Gannon, but yeah, I think they go out there and have fun, man. If I have Kyler Murray, I would just roll him out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a tough. If you have a better QB, go ahead and you don't feel comfortable with Kyler Murray, then go ahead and sit him. But in my opinion, bro, I think just roll him out. He'll get you like 20 to 25 in that range, I think.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the wide receiver sits of the week. All my sits are very easy. My wide receiver sit of the week is Amari Cooper, who is just not really needed in this offense. If you have him, I wouldn't become like confident starting him. They're playing against the Jets, who actually have been easier to throw on lately. But just they don't need Amari Cooper. Josh Allen's going to get it done. He has to prove, he has to, battle the MVP race against Lamar. So he's going to go out there and do his thing and just throw to everybody. I just don't think Amari Cooper is going to be the one that benefits.
Yeah, 100% agreed. I was gonna say the most pointless trade in the NFL season, but then I remembered Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, there you go.
But he low-key gave him a run for his money.
Yeah.
Hasn't done nothing. So
Yeah.
like, how can you trust him? You really can't. It's hard.
Yeah, it's impossible, man. Even in a game against the Rams,
30 bomb game.
Yeah.
But
Imagine. Honestly, he very well could, just because Josh Allen's his QB. Like, he really could just explode for like a 30 bomb game, right? He had
good.
14 targets against the Rams, 6 catches, 95 yards. Like, that's
Yeah.
not really an amazing, stat line on 14 targets. In terms of like fantasy wise, he didn't do a lot. He didn't do enough.
Yeah.
That was the best game since
Facts,
he
yeah.
got traded.
Just hard to trust. Hard to trust, man.
Yeah. MFB gives your wide receiver sit of the week.
My wide receiver sit of the week is, man, I'm risking it with this one. It's Lad McConkey. This is a rookie I love. And yes, they do play the Patriots, but bro, the Patriots D have kind of been locking up, bro.
Yeah.
In the past, like 3-game stretch, they've been locking up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Lad maybe only get like 4 or 5 catches top in this game, right? Which
Yeah.
it's kind of tough, right? It's probably not gonna win you your week with 4 or 5 catches, right? So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Just Pat's been playing well.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this is a tough one for me because I like Lad. He's a big part of that, huge part of the offense. And
Really huge. Actually, Chargers tried to get Deontay Johnson.
That's right. You mentioned that they tried to reclaim him for him.
They need help on the passing game.
Yeah. Yeah, Lad's been really, really good. I don't know if I'm willing to sit him if I have him on my team. If I don't have a better option, I'd probably roll him. But if I do have another option, I don't know. Ask us in the Discord, guys, because like I said, this is all in context. Like, if you're sitting on, guys like Amari Cooper or Lad McConkey, like, I would be more comfortable starting Lad than Amari Cooper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that's who's on your team. But we're just saying, like, this might not end up being a good week for Lad McConkey. Could, not do enough for you to win your chip. So it's like, if you have a better option, sit him. Let's move on to BBTB's wide receiver sit of the week. It's Garrett Wilson. My guess is that a lot of the volume's been going to Devontae Adams. We talked about him and Aaron Rodgers just having fun out there since they're eliminated. Since they've been eliminated, and they're playing against Buffalo. Buffalo's pass defense usually have been really good. Recently, they've not been so good in the pass defense.
Yeah, they've been letting a lot go. I can kind of see with this sit, especially. I don't know who's the backup at the Jets, bro. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has some sort of MCL injury, but according to him, he's like, "There's no way I'm not playing." So he wants to play.
He wants to go out there and
he wants to go out there and throw Devontae Adams the ball. Apparently.
Literally, he's just trying to prove that they can still do it. They still got it.
This is a very fair sit. Also, not really talked about, but low key a bust. Garrett Wilson this whole draft from the drafts, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he went first round.
Key?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, sit of the week. I think I'm not like, if I'm had to start him, I'm not like happy about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, agreed.
Kind of just like, it's one of those look, there's players you start like, oh yeah, I got like Jamar Chase, I'm good. You chilling, you kick him back. Yeah. And then there's like, oh, I got to start Garrett Wilson, and you're praying.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to start him and I have to pray.
Yeah.
So like,
the problem with these players is these are the players you don't want on your team that you have to sit there, and you can't sit them. It's like you have Travis Kelce on your team. You're like, bro, I can't sit him.
Yeah, like, are you going to sit like Garrett Wilson for Jalen McMillan? Jalen McMillan been balling,
bro. Yeah,
but are you
wrong? Are you gonna start Calvin Ridley over Garrett Wilson?
Stuff like that, bro. Like, you probably should, but are you?
Yeah, I mean, there's better out like Brian Thomas or JSN. Yeah, sure, go ahead and sit him. but still, you're like, dude, I really want to work this guy in my lineup because I know what he can do. But anyways, hopefully you're not dealing with that situation. And if you are, join the Discord. Ask us. We'll give you insight. Let's move on to RB sits of the week. At the top, a very easy one. Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre's been okay in the season.
He's been okay during the last couple game stretch, hasn't he?
Yeah, they played Arizona, who's, defense pretty soft. They played Buffalo, and he got in the end zone in my game, but he didn't even do that well.
He's been getting the end zone, bro.
Bro, so
and I think he does it again.
No,
the Pats have no passing attack, bro.
Yeah, but they're playing against the Chargers, and I think the Chargers defense is
The
going to clamp
Chargers
them
are
down.
pretty good, but
And the Chargers are playing for
I don't know.
something. New England's not playing for anything.
Yeah,
So, in my opinion,
it's not a start I'm hyped about, but like it's
so the
not like a
coach,
sit like, oh, like I don't know.
the
Depends on
Patriots,
what
if you
other
look at
RBs there is.
yeah, if you look at the news on his profile in Yahoo, it says that the Patriots head coach suggested on Monday that Stevenson could give way to Antonio Gibson as a team starting running back against the Chargers.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we will have to see. But
I mean, that's good that yeah, you checked that report. So definitely would be a sit then.
Yeah. Especially against the Chargers, tough Chargers defense. And he can go out there and be like, nah, I'm playing for my spot. You know what I mean? Try hard, go out there and like break hella tackles. But it's like, I just don't feel comfortable starting him. I would not want to start him on my team.
Yeah, I feel that.
MFB, give us your RB sit of the week.
All right. RB sit of the week. Following the same RB trend I've been doing every episode. Sit all RBs against the Chiefs. So that means sit Najee Harris, who has been a complete bum, right? And also sit Jalen Warren, who's definitely been the better player, but this matchup is a force to be reckoned with. Like nobody gets over like maybe 80 or 90 yards on the Chiefs.
Yeah, Jerome Ford, I think, is the only one that did. I don't know if you know if he got over 90, but Jerome Ford and Chuba Hubbard, I think, were the
I
two
don't know
like
over 90, but some people got in the end zone. But I'm saying just pure rushing yards. It's kind of tough to come by against the Chiefs. So I would, at this low key, I would have dropped Najee Harris. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, for the fantasy playoffs.
I would have dropped Najee Harris by now. So definitely not starting him if I'm saying that. And I'm not starting.
He got out carried and out targeted by Jalen Warren last week. And Jalen Warren's been the better of the two running backs, man. So
100%.
Against Kansas City.
So pretty simple. I'm just saying sit either.
Yep. Agreed. BBTB's sit of the week is Alvin Kamara. He's no longer a Saints fan. We talked to him on the show. You don't have to ask him for sure. We can guarantee you that right now. He does not like the Saints anymore. He's now become a Chiefs fan. But they're not going to be running Kamara out there, man. So, I mean, I get it. Bro, if he
apparently there's a report that Kamara went to the coach's office. He's like, I want to play.
Bro, he said he's trying to play. And so, in my opinion, I'm starting Kamara, bro. If I got by without him last week, bro, I'm trying to put him in my lineup.
I would probably say 100% too.
Yeah.
He's just too talented to not play. And he's the only like person on the offense.
And they're playing against Vegas. I mean, he's going to get 100 dump offs, bro. If what's his name? Rattler's a starter? Oh my God. He's going to be looking for Kamara every play. He's going to be like, huh, first read, second read, Kamara, every time. He saw what happened with Green Bay and he's scared, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would sit Kamara this week, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe BTB hit on this one. We'll see. Let's move on to tight end sits of the week. Like I said, guys, I'm getting some very, very, very easy sits this week. Very straightforward. I'm not going to overthink it. My sit of the week is Kyle Pitts. For very, very, very obvious reasons. There's nothing to talk about here. You're not starting Kyle Pitts. And if you do, and he goes crazy for you,
give me a percentage. What percentage of finals teams are starting Kyle Pitts?
Starting?
If you had to guess, yeah, like in all of Yahoo.
It's got to be zero. There's got to be zero. Oh, no one's starting Kyle Pitts. Let's be honest. Like
I want to say like 1%, bro.
Is that the case? Like, can you check?
I don't know. I don't even know if you could check, but I feel like some people out there are starting him. I don't know. Like,
he's
why
still rostered. He's still rostered in 80% of leagues. I don't know why.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So he's rostered that high, bro. But you gave him 0, bro.
Hey, I talked about him early on the season.
I mean, maybe the rosters doesn't matter just because the roster doesn't mean those teams are in the finals. But
yeah, true.
I don't know. I'm sure like some teams in the finals starting him for whatever.
Yeah, the Kyle Pitts experiment is over. Unless him and Michael Penix can connect and they show something like
that type of talk is how it starts again. Oh, next year. Oh, Kyle Pitts, Michael Penix going dumb, training camp. Oh, this.
Look, I would not be putting any chips on him. Yeah, I mean, no Drake London this week. It said he could have returned if needed in that game with a hamstring.
I think Drake London's fine.
Yeah, apparently the coach
I'm not
says,
exactly sure, but
yeah,
yeah, Kyle Pitts, obvious. I don't know if, yeah, I don't know.
nothing to it. Nothing to it. MFV,
Like
give us your,
literally, if you're like the team is like playing for a playoff spot, and you saw Kyle Pitts throw the ball at the defense,
oh, bro,
as a coach, are you gonna put that player in? Hell no, you're not.
broski. That was just so
Also,
like,
by the way, bruh, this is an epiphany I had the other day that I gotta tell you.
all right.
Let's rewind to last year where you're pissed at Arthur Smith
Yeah.
for putting in
John
who
Smith.
over Kyle Pitts?
John
Jonnu
Smith.
Smith,
Yeah,
bruh.
I remember that.
But Jonnu Smith ends up being a dog. Was Arthur Smith right all along, my brother?
Was Arthur Smith onto something, bro, that we just weren't?
Bruh.
Hey, you might be on something there, bro.
Bruh.
You might be.
It's
You
just
might
an
be on something.
epiphany I had, my brother. All right. Anyways,
Is he, bro? Is he? When does he have a contract? Did he get a contract?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. All
We
right, can
gotta
we get to
check
my
because he's not getting nothing after this
yeah.
terrible season. MFB, go ahead and give us your tight end start of the week or sit of the
My
week. Sorry.
tight end sit of the week is TJ Hawk. Um, Post injury, he looked okay coming back, but now he's kind of just like not a pivotal part of the offense. It's really like all Jay Jettis, obviously, and a lot of Jordan Addison too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if it's like injury related. I would have to like study like clips of like TJ Hawk on his routes and stuff like that. If he
Yeah.
really looks the same as he did before. Cause he was a beast before the whole ACL injury.
Yeah.
But like they just haven't been using him. Also, like they're playing against the Packers. It's a stingy defense. And I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna allow like stuff to like just be going through the tight end easily.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore I'm probably sitting him this week.
It'd be hard to trust TJ Hawkinson. The matchup, I mean, in terms of how many, Green Bay gives more than the average points to the tight end, but it'd be hard to trust him. I would not want to start TJ Hawk this week. I'd be trying to start someone else. Yeah, he just, like you said, not been doing well. Don't know what it is. Got to look at some clips or some film or something about him. He has not scored a touchdown this season. If he scores a touchdown this week,
only 2 double-digit games. Hasn't had one since week 12.
yeah, if he scores a touchdown before McBride, I'll jump off a cliff. Or if he receives a touchdown. BBTB's tight end sit of the week is Dalton Kincaid, which is understandable because has he also been a bust in terms of like as a player where he was drafted? He was like the 5th tight end off the board. Or no, he's like the 6th or 7th.
Yeah, but like honestly, all the tight ends were busts. So like, I mean, technically, yes, right?
I wouldn't
Like
say
if we're
all.
getting very technical, yeah, he is a bust. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say all tight ends were a bust, but
Not all of them, but like majority.
McBride, Kittle were good. Yeah, a lot
McBride,
of the other
Kittle,
ones.
and Bowers, and
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith off the waivers, my bro. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much. Yeah.
But same thing. Only 2 double-digit games. Literally, his ceiling is 11.6 points.
In half PPR, yeah. And that was, he got a touchdown. The 2 weeks he got double digit points were touchdown weeks. He has not been like a dominant threat or a dominant force. Like he hasn't had more than 53 yards all season.
Yeah.
And he's had like games where he had 10 targets, 5 targets, 7, 6. Like,
yeah, it's really just a factor of like Buffalo spreads the ball way too much, bro.
Yeah, Josh Allen out there just
like Kincaid led the team with 7 targets. Fun fact last week, right? But that isn't really necessarily going to translate to a lot of points for you.
Yeah, and New York Jets are stingy to everyone, to be honest. But the defense has been kind of soft. I just wouldn't rock Don Kincaid. If you had Kincaid this year, you probably already moved on. I know I did. I benched him for Jonnu Smith the last 5 weeks. That's it for the tight end sits of the week. Let's move on to the bonus sits of the week. My bonus sit of the week is DeAndre Hopkins, who was honestly, supposed to be a huge part of this Chiefs offense. It's looking like a lot of it's going to Xavier Worthy, the rookie, he got a touchdown last week. And they activated Hollywood Brown last week. And he had 8 targets, 5 receptions on 27 snap share, 27 snap percentage. So they're going to keep working Hollywood Brown into the offense, getting him mixed in, getting him comfortable so that they can use him in the playoffs. And I think D-Hop kind of suffers from that.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Kind of like what I was saying earlier. I think like Kansas City just spreads the fantasy point distribution amongst so many players on the team. So yeah, I wouldn't really be he's like a player. If I'm starting, I'm kind of praying.
You know what I mean? 100%.
But there is some scenarios I might start him.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, if you have other options, I mean, like we said, it's all in context. So look at your team, decide for yourself. I would be trying not to start DeAndre Hopkins. MFV, go ahead and give us your bonus sit of the week.
My bonus sit of the week comes with a little caveat, and that is Jerry Jeudy, right?
Okay.
If DTR is playing, you are 100% benching Jerry Jeudy. Literally, you could look at data and it'll tell you Jerry Jeudy's value comes with Jameis Winston. And only Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they don't put Jameis Winston in, you need to bench Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
If you had him and you had him with Jameis Winston and you had hella fun those weeks, that's great, my brother.
Man.
But the ride's over.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. If Jameis Winston's starting, hey man, slot him in.
Yeah.
And slot him in.
Slot him.
But if no Jameis Winston, I mean, even that is still risky. You know, they're playing against Miami. Miami's been pretty good in terms of like stopping wide receivers. What's his name is back? Cedric Tillman.
Yeah.
So, but still, with Jameis Winston, you have that chance. Without him, it's no chance for him to do anything. Let's go ahead and do BBTB's bonus sit of the week, DeAndre Swift. And this, I'm sure, has to just do with the terrible, what's it called? Bears offense. They're playing Seattle. Seattle's playing to make it to the top of their division. They're playing to win. Bears are out there just having fun, man. They're just playing around. They're not playing for anything. They're just trying to go out there and be comfy and like just throw the ball, distribute the ball, do whatever. DeAndre Swift hasn't had double digits in the last 5 weeks. Last time he had double digits was against Green Bay, week 11. Since then, he's just been kind of stinking it up, not doing too much. So yeah, I'd be trying to avoid playing DeAndre Swift.
100%. I mean, I'd be shocked if Swift got you to the finals.
Yeah.
But if he happened to, definitely try to look for other options.
Yeah, hopefully you have had other options by now. But yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams go out there and probably just chucking it, slanging it, trying to show that he was worth the draft capital where he got drafted for the Bears. And yeah, I'm sure you have other options besides Swift. If not, good luck. But that'll do it for the starts and sits of the week. Good luck to you all if you're in the finals. Actually, if you listen to this, I'm guessing you're in the finals, because why else would you be listening to this episode? But good luck in your finals matchups. Hopefully you win. If you win, come back and thank us, or don't. Just let us know. Keep in touch in the Discord. Discord is in the description of every episode. Join up with the link, and we'll see you guys in there. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.